105 meters, Termas do Rio Hondo Circuit in Argentina. Yesterday, we had an eventful Carrera Cup race with Werner Neugebauer taking his first victory this year. It was followed by Enzo Elias and Marcel Miller, who now leads the championship by a margin of 22 points. In Sprint Challenge, Raijan Mascarello led from green to checkered flag, with Marcelo Tomassoni taking second and Christian Moore third. So prepare yourself for two more races today, each of 25 minutes plus one lap to wrap up the fourth round of Porsche Cup C6 Bank MasterCard 2022 with me, Sergio Lago, and Carlos Costa. Hey, hello, Carlos, how are you? Ready for one more day of racing at this incredible circuit in the north part of Argentina?
Hello, Sergio. Ready as always. Very big pleasure to be here with you to broadcast one more round of the Brazilian Porsche Cup Series, and a quite special round considering that we are racing at Termas de Rio Hondo, one of the most traditional circuits already in South America. It's the venue of the Argentine Grand Prix of MotoGP, so the expectation is quite good. We see that the characteristics of the track are quite good for the drivers, especially in this Porsche Cup Series. Full grids, let's put it that way. A lot of cars in both Carrera Cup Series and, of course, in Sprint Challenge Championship as well. So we had two eventful races yesterday, and the expectation is quite good for today. Raijan Mascarello, the Sprint Challenge Championship, is leading right now, and Werner Neugebauer, he is kind of recovering in his championship after his win yesterday, because it was a very dominant win indeed, with the pole position and then leading from the start to finish. So the expectation is quite good, and of course it's very important also because of the championship standing. Sergio?
Yeah, and Werner Neugebauer will start seventh today. He will start in the fourth row. There is a draw after the first race, and the draw said the 7 first drivers, there will be an inversion of the grid. So Rodrigo Melo with the Porsche number 29 will start pole position in this Carrera Cup race. Lineu Pires will start alongside him with Lucas Salles and Pedro Aguiar in the second row. Something very interesting in this race today, Carlos, is that a few very good drivers like Miguel Paludo and Alceu Feldman, both are always championship contenders, will start from the back of the grid due to some accidents we had yesterday in the first race in this turn one, which is terrible in the sense that it's really hard for the drivers in the beginning. Let's see what's going to happen in the second race today, Carlos.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, the first corner there, turn one, a right-hander, it's quite tight actually, and it comes right after a wide main straight. So it's quite tricky for the drivers to hit the apex in the right way, especially for the ones who start the race in the outside line. So it will be very interesting to see. The first start that we had yesterday was even dangerous, I would say, but after the first start, then with the second race of the Sprint Challenge Championship, we saw that the guys were a little bit more prepared, let's put it that way. But the expectation is quite good also because some of the main drivers of the series will start from the back of the grid, as you said. So we can expect some big climbers, let's put it that way, in the second race of the Carrera Cup Championship at Termas de Rio Hondo. Sergio?
Yes, and it will be also interesting to see how the other drivers will fare, Carlos, because Marcel Miller took a commanding, he's ahead of the championship by 22 points. So we have still, with this race, we'll have 7 races to go. Each round has 2 races. This is actually have 5 races to go, right? It's this race plus 2 rounds, the 5th and the 6th round. So time is getting short for the other drivers, and it's important as well for Marcel Miller, because if he gets a good result in this race, he'll have pretty much the championship at his hand. It will be his to lose.
Yeah, that's it. And let's see how Marcel Miller will perform, because he will start P5, as you said. And of course, he has to think about Christian Hahn and other title rivals. Let me check the championship standings here. He has 126 points in this moment, and Han, that is the second in the championship standings, has 104. He didn't score yesterday, so it's a quite good situation for Marcel Miller. As you said, we are in the 4th out of 6 rounds in the sprint championship of Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil, so the situation for Marcel is very interesting, but he has to be wary of other guys that are getting close to him in terms of championship standings, such as Enzo Elias, for example. He started yesterday's race in the 5th position of the championship standings, if I'm not wrong, and he's already 3rd with 100 points. So there's still ground to come in this championship, Sergio.
Yeah, and there you see the information about Termas do Rio Hondo. It's located in the province of Santiago del Estero, in the north part of Argentina. It's a reasonably young city. It was founded in 1954, and as of 2019, it had 35,500 inhabitants. But it's a spa city. It's known by its thermal waters, so it gets lots of tourists. During all year, water temperature is around 50 degrees Celsius, so it's very pleasant, very good for high blood pressure, and that's what we're about to get now, because the cars are ready to the start. We have the onboard camera from Marcelo Han with the car number 160. Marcelo Han, who is starting the 11th position, 6th row, and cars are ready to go to the track. So soon we'll be telling you the starting grid for this car. Number 29 is the pole position. It's Rodrigo Melo. Rodrigo Melo had a great race yesterday, recuperating. He came from the back of the grid to recuperate his positions. So he ended up finishing 7th, which was enough by the draw for him to get the pole position. So really good for him. And Lineu Pires had also a nice race yesterday. Lineu Pires will start 2nd today. He finished 6th yesterday. There we see Rodrigo Melo pole position, Lineu Pires at his side. 2nd row, we'll have Lucas Salles and Pedro Aguiar. Pedro had a great race yesterday, finished 4th. Marcel Miller and Enzo Elias behind them. And then we have yesterday winners Werner Neugebauer and Nelson Monteiro. Then Renan Pizzi and Francisco Horta. Renan Pizzi also had a great race yesterday. Marcelo Han and Bruno Campos are in the 6th row. And then we have Edu Menossi and Georgios Frangoulis. Behind them, we will have João Barbosa and Christian Ham. And then in the 9th row, it's Edu Guedes and Paulo Souza. 10th row, we'll have Gustavo Farah and Leo Sanchez. And we'll see now one of the drivers who usually goes in front, Alceu Feldman, great diver, has a win already yesterday in this season, and Roman Zinkiewicz at his side. Miguel Paludo and Silvio Barros behind them. And then the 25th position, we have Franco Giafone, was also involved in the accident at the start of the race yesterday.
Yeah, we had 3 drivers involved: Franco Giafone, Miguel Paludo, and Silvio de Barros, if I'm not wrong, Sergio.
Exactly. And then Alceu Feldman had in a different incident, also had a problem with his car and had to DNF. He didn't finish the race, so it was a problem for him. Anyway, we are at the warming up lap. Soon we'll have the start of this race. Drivers are very happy with this track in Argentina. It's very modern, very interesting track. And we have here Rodrigo Melo and Lineu Pires. Rodrigo Melo on your left side, Lineu Pires is on your right side. Everything is ready. The red lights are on still, but the drivers are already pedal to the throttle. We start the race in Termas de Rio Hondo. Rodrigo Melo, we have Marcelo Han, the onboard. Rodrigo Melo keeps the lead. Oh, little problem there, but everybody stays on track, unlike yesterday. And Rodrigo Melo, oh no, someone behind there. It's number 33 of Bruno Campos, already leaving the track. What a problem for Bruno Campos. Then we have Rodrigo Melo and Lucas Salles is in second. Lucas Salles in from third to second and is right behind Rodrigo Melo. What a start, Carlos Costa.
Yeah, an eventful start once more, but a clean start for the race leader and pole position, Rodrigo Melo. So he stays ahead, he manages to stay ahead of his competitors. Marcel Miller seems to have had a good start as well, but the competition right there at the front of the pack is quite interesting, even though we had the spin of Bruno Campos in the end of the pack. But so far so good for the leader, even though there are a lot of guys close to him.
Enzo Elias on the inside gets the position from Marcel Miller. Great pass by Enzo Elias. It's the Porsche number 73 and Werner Neubauer on the left side of Marcel Miller, also trying to get the position. Marcel Miller is in trouble there. First he was overtaken by number 73 of Enzo Elias, and now he has Werner Neubauer right behind him. And what a start by Rodrigo Melo. He's way ahead of second place Lucas Salles.
Yeah, Lucas Salles had a good start as well. Marcel Miller is suffering a little bit right now, but he climbed the spot there, even though the battle with Enzo Elias and those guys, even Werner Neubauer, is quite intense, and we have a good train of cars ahead there, commencing, of course, with Rodrigo Melo, but they are all close to each other. Let's see if they manage to get along with the space throughout the whole race, but it seems that Melo is opening a little bit of a gap already.
Yeah, Lineu Pires fell from second to seventh. It was really bad, the start for Lineu Pires, really bad, but let's hope he's able to recuperate. And at this point, we have Rodrigo Melo really commanding the show there. See there, Werner Neubauer. Werner Neubauer comes fifth right behind Marcel Miller, and he has number 20, Pedro Aguiar, behind him. Pedro Aguiar yesterday put great pressure over Marcel Miller, wasn't able to overtake Marcel Miller, but now Marcel Miller has Werner Neubauer right behind him. Comes on the outside, Werner Neubauer trying to find a position. He needs to be ahead of the championship leader. It's very important. Great battle for the fourth position.
This train of cars is quite interesting because they're all close to each other, and of course they're fighting for the championship as well. Marcel Miller is the season leader so far, but Enzo Elias is getting close, as we said in the beginning of this broadcast. And apart from that, Werner Neubauer is trying to recuperate in terms of championship standings after his triumph yesterday. So it's quite interesting to see, and we have to remember that Pedro Aguiar had a very interesting battle with Marcel Miller yesterday, so he will be very keen to join this battle as well.
Werner Neubauer, he was side by side a while ago to Marcel Miller, comes on the inside. Werner Neubauer again trying to get fourth position from Marcel Miller. Not yet, Werner Neubauer. Pedro Aguiar is behind them. Pedro Aguiar is right there, Carlos, waiting for a mistake of either Marcel Miller or Werner Neubauer, maybe from both, to get their positions. And look at Enzo Elias. All over Lucas Salles for the second position. Enzo Elias is coming, and both are getting close to the leader Rodrigo Melo, right behind Werner Neubauer. That's how we don't have the image, but Werner Neubauer is right side by side with Marcel Miller, and Werner Neubauer, he is already in fourth. Great job by number 8, Werner Neubauer. Pedro Aguiar now is behind number 544 of Marcel Miller.
Yeah, very interesting battle.
Go ahead, Carlos, go ahead.
No, it's interesting because we have two trains of cars in this moment. The three that are ahead, Rodrigo Melo, Enzo Elias, and Lucas Salles. Lucas Salles defended his position, but in a conservative way, so Enzo Elias was able to pass, of course. Lucas Salles is from the sport class, not the main Carrera Cup class, so he's still leading in his class, we can say that. And apart from that battle, we had Marcel Miller, Werner Neubauer, and also Pedro Aguiar. Marcel Miller is another one who has to be a little bit more conservative in terms of defending his position and even attacking when he has the opportunity, because of course he's the championship leader. So let's see if Pedro Aguiar will be able to get his revenge, let's put it that way, after yesterday's battle between himself and Marcel Miller.
We see this battle behind. It's number 80 of Roman Zinkiewicz leading this pack. Edu Menossi, Alceu Feldman behind him. And let's see Werner Neugebauer, yesterday's winner, when he gets the position from Marcel Miller. Great work by Werner Neugebauer. He put on the inside there and was able to overtake Marcel Miller. And now, Carlos, we see Enzo Elias getting really close to Rodrigo Melo. It will be tough for Melo to hold his position.
Yeah, we can expect a very aggressive attack there by Enzo Elias. He seems to have a better pace compared to Rodrigo Melo, even though Rodrigo Melo had opened a little bit of a gap in the beginning of the race. But now with Lucas Salles actually out of the contention, then Enzo Elias is completely focused on attacking the race leader so far. So it will be interesting to see. And let's see if Werner Neugebauer is also able to attack Lucas Salles.
Yeah, Werner Neugebauer is trying to get close to Lucas Salles. His last lap was 1:43.921. It was half a second faster than Lucas Salles. The separation between them is still a little bit, they are not that close, but for sure, Werner Neugebauer will have a shot at Lucas Salles. You see again the leader, who is Rodrigo Melo, then Enzo Elias right behind him. Enzo Elias has 2 victories already this season. He needs the victory there. He wants to get closer to Marcel Miller, the very young driver. And, Marcel Miller is more a veteran. Great battle for first position. With 17 minutes to go, a little bit more. There comes Enzo Elias. He's right behind at the end of the back straight. Enzo Elias for the first position. He gets first. Great work by Enzo Elias. Oh no! Rodrigo Melo gets back at him. That's the onboard from Rodrigo Melo. What a defense work by Rodrigo Melo. Carlos Costa, Enzo Elias was right after him, and Rodrigo Melo was able to recuperate, while we see right behind them Werner Neugebauer getting closer to Lucas Salles.
Yeah, and all of this happens because, as we have been saying throughout the whole week, this track is very wide, so it allows different racing lines. So Rodrigo Melo was able to do the X maneuver, let's put it that way, in order to defend his lead, and it was very, very interesting because all of that happened after the back straight that is the main overtaking point of this Termas de Rio Hondo track. So far, so good for Rodrigo, but Enzo Elias is still close.
There you see Rodrigo Melo trying to defend himself. This is the straight in front of the pits. Turn will be to the right. And I believe, Carlos, Enzo Elias will try again to attack Rodrigo Melo in the back straight. It's 1,070 meters, very fast. And the speed there goes up to 260 kilometers per hour. It's a very hard end of the straight. They go down to 7 kilometers per hour. So it will be really tough. And there we see again the images from Rodrigo Melo defending himself from Enzo Elias.
Yeah, and with the lip stream even faster in the end of the back straight. Let's see it.
Yeah, Rodrigo Melo is able to stay ahead. Great work by him, but look behind. Carlos, Werner Neugebauer is all over Lucas Salles. That will be the battle for the third position. Lucas Salles is still holding third. Then Werner Neugebauer is fourth. Marcel Miller is fifth. And Pedro Aguiar is sixth. Renan Pizzi is already in the 7th position. Renan Pizzi started 9th, so he got already 2 positions. He was able to overtake Lineu Pires.
Yeah, and let's see if the guys ahead of Renan Pizzi will lose time because of their battle, Marcel Miller and Pedro Aguiar. But we don't have a train of cars anymore. We have 3 battles, and Enzo Elias is attacking once more. So we have Melo and Elias, then Lucas Salles and Neugebauer, and then Marcel Miller and Pedro Aguiar.
You saw the onboard for Rodrigo Melo. He's still ahead of Enzo Elias. Rodrigo Melo, who will race with Nelson Piquet Jr. on Sunday, 9 a.m. local time. We start showing the qualifying for you, and then at 12:55 p.m. local time, there will be the race, the first endurance race for this year, Porsche Cup Championship. And it will be a very interesting race. Lots of drivers. All these drivers we're seeing today, they will have guests racing with them. So it will be a really, really nice race on Sunday. And Rodrigo Melo stays ahead of Enzo Elias. He's doing very nice defense work, Carlos. It's been perfect so far, Rodrigo Melo, because it's clear that Enzo Elias is a little bit faster behind him.
Yeah, but Rodrigo Melo is using the whole track in a very interesting way, because he manages to put his car ahead of Enzo Elias in almost all of the overtaking points at the Rio Hondo. So it's very tricky for Enzo Elias to try and attempt the overtake because of the defensive work that has been done by Rodrigo Melo so far. And of course, the car is so cool. So in terms of power, they are very, very balanced between each other. So we have to highlight Rodrigo Melo's drive so far, no doubt of that.
There we have Rodrigo Melo. Behind them in the battle for 5th position, we have Pedro Aguiar and Marcel Miller. Pedro Aguiar is all over Marcel Miller. We have to double check, but he might have gotten the position. If not, it's really, they're really battling there for 5th. Of course, we keep the image here. That's the battle for 1st position. Lucas Salles, I believe Werner Neugebauer was able to overtake Lucas Salles. Let's check. No, Lucas Salles is still ahead.
And Lucas Salles is...
Lucas Salles.
Yes, I was going to highlight that because he's from another class, the intermediate class actually. So he has been very good in terms of defending his position against the guy who dominated this event yesterday with pole position and winning from the beginning of the race until the end, leading until the end at Termas de Rio Hondo. And actually, Neugebauer he has 2 wins, if I'm not wrong, at this circuit. So he knows everything about the circuit, and obviously in terms of overtaking points and that kind of stuff.
We still see Rodrigo Melo defending himself from Enzo Elias. Enzo Elias is doing everything he can to pass Rodrigo Melo. And I believe we see there now it's Werner Neugebauer ahead of Lucas Salles. Let's double check. The image is right behind there. Yeah, it's Werner Neugebauer is way ahead of Lucas Salles. Is in 3rd, so Lucas Salles is 4th now, with Marcel Miller and Pedro Aguiar 5th and 6th. And Ampisi is right behind them at 7th place.
And look at this view, Sergio.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Definitely beautiful. First turn to the right, then we have a turn to the left. And again, we have the onboard for Rodrigo Melo. And now they're going to the main straight. It's the back straight, but it's the longest straight, right? So, and look how Werner Neugebauer is way ahead of Lucas Salles, and Marcel Miller is behind Lucas Salles in the battle for the 4th position. There comes again Enzo Elias. Go ahead, Carlos.
No, we can assume that Lucas Salles was very good at defending his position, because it seems that Werner has a very good pace and obviously better than Lucas. So he's already opening a big gap, but Enzo is on the charge there.
Again, the onboard for Rodrigo Melo, who leads the race. He finished 7th yesterday. We have already under 10 minutes to go. And Lucas Salles lost yet another position. So it's not being a good moment for Lucas Salles. It's still the battle for first position. It's my impression, Carlos, or Werner Neugebauer is getting closer to these two drivers here. They might have a shot close to the end of the race. Enzo Elias on the inside, trying again, but again, Rodrigo Melo defends himself very, very well.
Yeah, but you're right, Sergio. Both Rodrigo Melo and Enzo Elias, they are losing time because of that battle, because they have to use the whole track, Enzo, for the attacking maneuvers, and obviously Rodrigo Melo for defending his position. So Werner Neugebauer is adopting the ideal racing line, let's put it that way, and he's getting closer. Let's see if he will be able to get close in time.
On the inside again, trying to find position to overtake is Enzo Elias. He's doing everything he can, and Werner Neugebauer in third. He's feeling the chance to get close to the first two drivers. Still 8 minutes to go. The laps are being done around 143 and a half, more or less, all the drivers. Oh, last lap from Elias actually was 144, 163, so it was a little bit slower. But he definitely has speed. He's faster than Rodrigo Melo, but Rodrigo Melo is holding again very, very well his position. Marcel Miller is already fourth. Lucas Salles fell to fifth, and then Pedro Aguiar right now is behind him, trying to get the position. Then we have Renan Pizzi and Miguel Paludo. Miguel Paludo, who started 23rd and is now in the 8th position.
Very good race from Miguel Paludo, 7-time champion of the series. And Sergio, if Rodrigo Melo wins this race, I think Enzo Elias will have a nightmare with him.
Problems for Gustavo Farah. And here we see already Pedro Aguiar ahead of Lucas Salles, and behind Lucas Salles are Renan Pizzi and Miguel Paludo. Oh, look at what a problem. How bad for Gustavo Farah.
Yeah, strange incident as well. It seems that he had the door closed there, but in a quite aggressive way, I would say.
For the first position again, Enzo Elias. And Werner Neugebauer is getting closer and closer. Then we have Marcel Miller, Pedro Aguiar trying to get again close to Marcel, and then comes Miguel Paludo trying to pass Renan Pizzi. Renan Pizzi is not being able to overtake Lucas Salles. It's a weird position for Farah.
They have to remove that car. It's dangerous. Yeah, yellow flag in that corner at least.
Yeah, safety car. Yeah, it was very dangerous position for Gustavo Farah's car. I think it was the best option, Carlos. You even mentioned that it's a dangerous place for him to be.
Yeah, it's a runoff area, in the point of the circuit that is an overtaking point. So it's quite dangerous, because if someone tries to overtake and then the runoff area is needed, for example, then we can have a crash between Gustavo Farah's car and another one. But the safety car being deployed, I think it is the right decision. And I believe that the race director was waiting to see if Gustavo Farah was able to get out of the gravel there. But of course, he wasn't able to do so. He got stuck, and then we have the safety car, which is interesting, because if we have another green flag, then the race will be all or nothing at all for the top 3 drivers at least.
Yeah, it might bring a great opportunity for Werner Neugebauer, because depending on the situation, he might be able to overtake Enzo Elias, who is second. Enzo Elias will have to be very, very careful. We see Marcelo Ram now, the onboard from Marcelo Ram. He's currently 11th. Ahead of him is Lineu Pires. Lineu Pires, who started second, Carlos, and now is in the 9th position. The 10th position, actually. It's 10th, Lineu Pires.
Yeah, at least he can celebrate the fact that he's leading his class, the rookie class. former trophy class, but of course it's not that good for him considering his start position, but we cannot forget the fact that he's from the lower class theoretically in this Carrera Cup championship.
That's Miguel Paludo. He got 15 positions so far. The car from Gustavo Farah is being taken out of the track. This is the onboard from Werner Neugebauer. Had a great race yesterday. He got his first victory this season. And currently he sits third on the track.
And I believe, Sergio, that Werner Neugebauer's tires won't be that wasted, let's put it that way, because the degradation between Rodrigo Melo and Enzo Elias, I believe it has been a little bit more intense because of their fight. So let's see if Neugebauer has a better condition in terms of tires for this final part of the race.
Oh yes, the race between, it's been a beautiful feud between Rodrigo Melo and Enzo Elias. But as you said, really, definitely it had to take a toll on their tires. So Werner Neugebauer is aware of that. We have green again. We have green again, and Rodrigo Melo defends himself. Pedro Aguiar comes on the outside. Miguel Paludo on the outside. That's the position from Renan Pini and from Lucas Salles. Great restart by Miguel Paludo. Jumps from 8th to 6th. And Rodrigo Melo is still defending himself from Enzo Elias, but right now they have Werner Neugebauer right behind them. And then it's Marcel Miller from Pedro Aguiar. Look at the first three drivers there. Carlos, incredible. Right behind one to the other. And then we have Enzo Elias on the inside. He'll try to get Rodrigo Melo, defends himself. Rodrigo Melo loses a little bit of ground. And then Werner Neugebauer comes on the inside. Enzo Elias leads the race. Rodrigo Melo is second, trying to defend from Werner Neugebauer. Werner Neugebauer is not able to pass Rodrigo Melo. Enzo Elias leads the race at this point. Great work by him, while Marcel Miller tries to get third from Werner Neugebauer. What a dispute. The safety car brought very good disputes, Carlos.
Yeah, definitely. The safety car was good for Enzo Elias. The restart from Enzo Elias was better than the restart from Rodrigo Melo, but we have to consider the fact that the situation for Rodrigo Melo was quite difficult because he had Enzo Elias and then Werner Neugebauer approached after the pack being closer because of the safety car. So he had two drivers getting his slipstream. Let's see if he's able to defend the second position now.
We have Werner Neugebauer trying to get Rodrigo Melo, but now we have battle for third. Marcel Miller. Marcel Miller is in the outside of Werner Neugebauer. He might get the position. Great work by Marcel Miller. Werner Neugebauer defends himself. Then we have Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo. Pedro Aguiar is number 20. Pedro Aguiar is side by side with Marcel Miller. We cannot say what's going to happen here. What a race. Pedro Aguiar. Wow, beautiful. And then we have Christian Ham there. Marcel Miller stays behind Pedro Aguiar. And Marcel Miller, there are 3-4 cars side by side. Marcel Miller is number 4, and then we have Renan Pizzi. Miguel Paludo on the outside might lose positions now. That's incredible, Carlos. It's impossible to know what's going on right now. Marcel Miller stays ahead. Renan Pizzi was behind lots of drivers now. He's ahead of them. And then we have Miguel Paludo behind him. Pedro Aguiar, number 20. He's on the left side of Miguel Paludo, takes advantage. Pedro Aguiar.
What a race. A lot of cars together and side by side in that straight. That's why this circuit is so interesting for this Porsche Cup races, Sergio.
And this is good. This was good for Rodrigo Melo, because Rodrigo Melo stays in second. Werner Neugebauer is right behind him. Now we see Marcel Miller and then Renan Pizzi. What a race by Renan Pizzi. He's current fifth. Then we have Pedro Aguiar and Miguel Paludo.
Very good race from Renan Pizzi, started P9 if I'm not wrong, so climbed a little bit there. Also from Miguel Paludo. Whoa!
Oops, someone went off track. It's Marcelo Ram. Marcelo Ram is off track. Last lap anyway. Last lap, and Enzo Elias is ready to take his third win this year. Great work by Enzo Elias. Rodrigo Melo started pole second. Werner Neugebauer started 7th and currently is 3rd. Great race by Werner Neugebauer. Won the first race at Termas de Rio Hondo. Enzo Elias is going to complete the lap, is going to get the checkered flag. Werner Neugebauer makes a last effort to get overtake Rodrigo Melo. That's the onboard for Rodrigo Melo. Oh, more problems. There it's Roman Zinkiewicz, one of the Porsche there. And to the win, Enzo Elias. Nobody takes this win from him now. He's going to cross the line. First, he's going to get the checkered flag. 3rd time this year for Enzo Elias. He's all by himself. Rodrigo Melo is in 2nd. Werner Neugebauer is in 3rd. They are getting close to the main straight. They are getting close to the checkered flag. There is this turn to the right, then there will be a turn to the left. And Enzo Elias is going to win. Enzo Elias wins the race, the 2nd race at Termas do Rio Hondo. Rodrigo Melo, Werner Neugebauer, Marcel Miller, and Renan Pizzi, the top 5. What an end of the race, Carlos Costa. That safety car really brought another dimension to this race. We were having a great battle for the first position, but after the safety car, we had battle for first, for second, for third. We had battles all over the racetrack.
Yeah, Sergio, amazing race, and it wasn't that crazy race that sometimes we see in the Brazilian motorsport categories. It was very competitive throughout the whole grid, and with overtaking, defensive driving as well. We have to highlight also Rodrigo Melo, but of course, driver of the day, let's put it that way so far, is Enzo Elias. Started from P6 and then winning after the safety car. That was good for him. Rodrigo Melo had a good momentum before the safety car because he was able to defend himself from Enzo Elias, and Werner Neugebauer actually was approaching Enzo. So we have to consider the fact that the safety car had a part, let's put it that way, on this result, but Enzo Elias was very, very good attacking throughout the whole race, and he didn't give up, let's put it that way, apart from the fact that we had, as you said, fights throughout the whole pack with even Werner Neugebauer and Marcel Miller, Pedro Aguiar as well, Miguel Paludo climbing the whole pack, and Pizzi had a very good race as well. Lucas Salles, in the end, he lost performance, but winning his sport class, the intermediate class of the Porsche Carrera Cup Championship. So it was very, very nice to see, and I would say so far the best race of this weekend.
Yeah, it was very, very competitive race. As you said, Lucas Salles won the sport class. Lineu Pires won the rookie class. Nelson Monteiro in 11th was the 2nd in the rookie class. It was really great work by him, and we see there Lineu Pires, who started in 2nd, ended up in 10th overall, but was still the winner for the rookie class. A great race. After that, we'll have the sprint challenge race. Of course, you see the podium for these drivers. And it's not over yet for them. They will be racing on Sunday. I remind you, on Sunday we'll have, and that's Francisco Horta. That's Francisco Horta there, thinking about life, number 77. He competes for the sports class. And Rodrigo Melo too, Carlos. It was a great race by him. He couldn't really hold Enzo Elias. Clearly, Enzo Elias was faster than he was. He had a great defense work, but when the safety car came, it really became hard for him. And I'm sure he might be frustrated, Carlos, but 2nd place was great work for him.
No doubt about it, especially if we consider the whole weekend so far, because he didn't have a good qualifying session. And of course, he had to climb the whole pack in this first race that we had yesterday. So He had a good starting position, and then the battle between himself and Enzo Elias was very, very intense. And as you said, Enzo had a better pace. So we have to highlight the fact that Rodrigo Melo managed to drive in a defensive manner in a very, very good way. And it was the highlight of the race that was very good overall, but this battle was very, very nice to see.
Let's watch the commemoration. Everybody commemorating Enzo Elias, Lucas Salles, and Lineu Pires, the three winners. We saw the car, that number 5 there for Silvio de Barros. Silvio de Barros, who finished 16th. These beautiful facilities, Carlos, that you mentioned yesterday. There was a fire at this racetrack, but they were able to recuperate. The racetrack received earlier this year MotoGP, and there we have the problems with Bruno Campos, who spun there, and Enzo Elias, the great winner, we see there, number 73. He was still behind at this point. Enzo Elias, who started the race in 6th and was able to get the victory. So it was a great race for this young driver who has lots of future in Porsche Cup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And only 20 years old, so he's indeed very young, as you said, and very talented already. Another win for him, one of the repeated winners of this Porsche season overall, considering Carrera Cup, Sprint Challenge, and so on. And of course, let's see if he will be able to be aggressive but also consistent in terms of fighting for this championship. Of course, Marcel Miller has a good advantage, but Enzo Elias is getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, we'll still have 4 more races to go. There'll be 2 races in Goiânia, who we place a city that already received 1 round this year, and then the last race will be in Interlagos. There you have Enzo Elias, Lucas Salles, and Lineu Pires, winners for this race in each class. Of course, Enzo Elias was the overall winner, followed by Rodrigo Melo, great race by him, Werner Neugebauer, Marcel Miller, Renan Pizzi, Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo. What a great battle close to the end of the race between Marcel Miller, Renan Pizzi, Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo, and Christian Hahn, who finished 8th, and Lucas Salles in 10th. We had Lineu Pires, then Nelson Monteiro, Franco Giafone, Alceu Feldman had a okay race, finished 13th, then Jorge Frangulis, Edu Menossi, Silvio de Barros, Edu Guedes, Bruno Campos, Léo Sanches, João Barbosa, Marcelo Hahn, Roman Zinkiewicz. And there we see the championship. Marcel Miller now has 20 points over Enzo Elias. A great week for Enzo Elias, who now is 2nd in the championship. He started 5th. Christian Hahn is 3rd, then Alceu Feldman, Pedro Aguiar, Miguel Paludo, Lucas Salles, Renan Pizzi, Werner Neugebauer, and Franco Giafone. A great weekend also, not weekend, a great round for Werner Neugebauer, because the races were Thursday and Friday. For Werner Neugebauer, who is now 9th in the championship, Carlos, he was behind that. He had a victory yesterday and our 3rd place today, so it was a great round overall for Werner Neugebauer as well.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm not wrong, he was 12th in the championship standings when we arrived at Termas de Rio Hondo. So a very positive round for him indeed. And only 20 points between Marcel Miller and Enzo Elias. So let's put it that way. If Marcel Miller retires and Enzo Elias wins, we have still 4 races to go. Then the championship is completely open. So the expectation for the next rounds is indeed very, very positive.
Last one to arrive there was Rodrigo Melo. Rodrigo Melo finished 2nd. 5th place, Renan Pizzi. Now we have 4th place, Marcel Miller. 3rd place, Werner Neugebauer. 2nd place, Rodrigo Melo. And the great winner of the race, now holding his trophy. Enzo Elias. There they are ready for the photograph. Mr. Michelin is right there on the left side. Nice figure, always. And now they really can commemorate, Carlos, because tomorrow it will be like a day off, kind of. You know, for them, they'll be able to rest a little bit preparing for the endurance race on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. We have the first round of the Endurance Championship of Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil. So it's a day off for some of these drivers, but of course they will be together alongside their guest drivers in order to prepare for this endurance race that we will have this Sunday. So the weekend is still to come, and a lot to come in terms of racing and action at Porsche Cup Brazil. But the special round is so far very good, considering the whole event, the round of the Sprint Championship and also on the Endurance Championship that we will still have with the likes of Rubens Barrichello, Nelson Piquet Jr., with Ricardo Zonta, also the stars from the Brazilian stock cars such as Ricardo Mauricio, for example. So the expectation is still quite good, even though we are going right now for the last race of this Sprint Championship round at Termas de Rio Hondo, and expectation is quite good as well because the Sprint Challenge activities yesterday were very, very good indeed.
Yeah, we soon will have the Sprint Challenge race. Dina Neves will start pole position. Now we have Lucas Salles on top. He was the winner for the sport class. Then we have Lineu Pires from the rookie class, but he's second there. Nelson Monteiro, third. Franco Giafone and Georgios Frangoulis. So these are the top 5 for the sport class. That the rookie class competes with the sport class there. So Lineu Pires was first in the rookie class, but also second in the sport class. We have there Nelson Monteiro. This is Lineu Pires. And then first in the rookie class Lucas Salles.
Good race for him as well, and he managed to compete with the guys of the main Carrera Cup class almost equally, let's put it that way. So it was nice to see, even though he lost performance in the end of the race.
Now they pose for the photograph. This is the circuit Termas de Rio Hondo in Argentina. We talked about this yesterday, Carlos, but it's nice to see Porsche Cup Brazil again racing outside of Brazil after 2 tough years in 2020 and 2021. And now this year it's able to go back to Argentina in this beautiful circuit, the category he already raced in Portugal and other places. So it's always nice to showcase this beautiful category outside of Brazil.
Yeah, no doubts about it. If I'm not wrong, the last Brazilian Porsche Cup race that was held at Termas de Rio Hondo was in 2017, so quite a while, with a triumph from Werner Neugebauer back in that occasion. But of course, after the pandemic and so on, it's very important to put the category abroad as well, especially in a neighbor country, but also in other countries. We had races in Portugal, for example, and now coming back to Argentina. It's always important to give this opportunity also for our drivers, and with the endurance events we have, of course, the guest drivers and stars like the ones that we talked about, the former F1 drivers, the stars from the Stock Car Brazil series as well. So it's very, very important, and it's also good to see that the motorsport as a whole is recovering, bouncing back after the pandemic.
Now we have the podium for the rookie class. Atop we have Lineu Pires and Nelson Monteiro, Silvio de Barros, Edu Guedes, and Bruno Campos. This was Silvio de Barros. Now we have Nelson Monteiro and Lineu Pires, the great winner for the rookie class. Congratulations to all the drivers. It's nice also, Carlos, that we have 3 classes competing. So it gives an opportunity for the Pro-Am drivers. You know, we have the professional drivers, we have the Pro-Am drivers, and it's very interesting to give all of them this great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And apart from that, apart from the whole party, let's put it that way, we also have to highlight the fact that some of these drivers will evolve, will develop their driving in order to get closer to the pro drivers, and even in some years possibly race in the pro series, the pro class actually, that in this categories the main Carrera Cup class. In the Sprint Challenge it works very much in a similar way with the guys that aren't so experienced but already fast, and it's always nice to see as well the fight between the different classes throughout the races, especially the endurance races I would say, but also the sprint ones. So it's nice to see a guy from Carrera fighting the guys from the former trophy class, now called rookie class.
Yeah, the Sprint Challenge cars are already on the track. We saw them passing through the pits. So soon we'll have the second race this Friday. We had 2 races on Thursday, now 2 races on Friday, and we'll have also the races on Sunday. 1 race, actually, we will have first the qualifying at 9 a.m. Brazilian time or Argentinian time as well on Sunday, which will be 12 p.m. GMT or 8 a.m. US Eastern time. And then at 12:55 p.m. local time, Brazilian time, we'll have the endurance race, which will be 3:55 p.m. GMT or 11:55 a.m. US Eastern time. So be sure to follow us with the endurance race. There we see, as you mentioned yesterday, Carlos, the reservatory for Termas de Rio Hondo. Very interesting area in the north part of Argentina.
Yeah, it's a very dry region, so they have to use reservoirs and that kind of stuff in order to have water supply. So the whole region of northern Argentina has a lot of reservoirs, and this one is quite interesting to see, especially close to a racetrack that is as interesting as Termas de Rio Hondo, as you said, the venue of the Argentine Grand Prix of Motorcycling World Championship.
That was the onboard from Nelson Marcondes. Nelson Marcondes will start 3rd. This is Vina Neves, will be the pole position for the Sprint Challenge race. Then we have Márcio Mauro start alongside him. Aijan Mascarello, who won the race on Thursday, yesterday on Thursday, will start 6th. So in the draw, Carlos, it was the inversion of the grid of the first 6 drivers from yesterday race. In the Carrera Cup, it was the first 7 drivers where there was the inversion of the grid, and for the Sprint Challenge, the first 6 drivers. So this is very interesting as well, because the drivers will never know, they never know after the first race where the draw, where the inversion of the grid will be, because there is a draw between 6th and 8th place.
Yeah, and that's good because it doesn't allow, let's put it that way, the drivers to be in the comfort zone in terms of finishing P8 and knowing that we'll start from pole position. So they have to race throughout the whole weekend and fiercely throughout the whole weekend. They cannot allow themselves to try and get an 8th spot in order to start from pole position, as we see sometimes in other categories that adopt this reverse grid format.
We're still on board with Vina Neves, waiting for the start of the Sprint Challenge race. Of course, the drivers will still go to the pits, but soon we'll have the beginning of the race. We'll have Vina Neves, pole position. Márcio Mauro will start alongside him. Then we have Nelson Marcondes, Christian Moore, Marcelo Tomassoni, and Raijan Mascarello. It will be a great opportunity for Raijan as well, Carlos, to really increase his lead in the championship, because Eamon Darwich will start just 19th. Eamon Darwich was involved in a race in an accident yesterday. He got very aggressive, and so everything is looking really good for Raijan Mascarello.
Yeah, as you said, Eamon Darwich had an accident, if I'm not wrong, with Daniel Correa after a very intense battle between them. Yeah. And, of course, he didn't score any points, and Raijan Mascarello scored 22. So he's 21 points ahead in this moment since he began actually this round. Only 1 point behind Eamon Darwich, and the situation for Raijan is quite positive. Of course, we all know how competitive Eamon is. He can actually climb the pack, but he will start from the middle of the pack. So Raijan Mascarello is already ahead and can capitalize on that in order to expand. Let's put it that way. He's leading the championship. The Sprint Challenge Championship is always very, very competitive, and we see that once more this season.
This is Guilherme Botura. Guilherme Botura, who will start in the 8th position. He finished 8th yesterday. He had a great race yesterday. So he started 9th, finished 8th, but he had a few problems, so he went behind and then was able to recuperate. And Nelson Marcondes. Nelson Marcondes, who started 2nd yesterday. He finished 4th, so it was not a great race for Nelson Marcondes. He was one of the drivers who lost lots of position at the very start, and he had to come a little bit from behind. He ended up in 7th or 8th, and he was able to recuperate and finish 4th yesterday. This is Raijan Mascarello. Go ahead, Carlos.
No, it was a tricky race for Nelson Marcondes. As you said, he had a good starting position. He was one of the fastest guys in qualifying session, losing only to Raijan Mascarello, obviously, but the start of the race yesterday was quite eventful for him, even though he managed to recover some positions there in order to have a good starting position today as well. So let's see if he will be able to be a little bit more consistent, let's put it that way, this Friday's race.
Beautiful aerial view of Termas de Rio Hondo. You are watching the Porsche C6 MasterCard Bank Championship. The championship is 6 rounds for the Sprint Championship and then 3 rounds for the Endurance Championship, Endurance Championship that starts this Sunday. Then there will be a race in Goiânia, and then the final race in Interlagos in the beginning of December. The final race for the Sprint Championship, the final 2 races, will be during the Formula 1 weekend in November in Interlagos. So that's a great chance for these drivers as well, Carlos. It's been a tradition for them to compete at the weekend that we have Formula 1 in Interlagos. It's a great showcase for him because they usually the circuit Interlagos is packed with people watching, and all the time the drivers from Porsche Cup, they put a great show for those who are waiting for the Formula 1 race.
Yeah, it's one of the most traditional support series in the Brazilian Grand Prix, that's for sure. And obviously it's very interesting for these drivers. And from time to time we have also special events for Porsche Cup at Interlagos during the Brazilian Grand Prix. So we sometimes have guest drivers. If I'm not wrong, we had Felipe Drogovic, for example, in the All-Star race last year. So it's always a nice event, of course, for the regular drivers of Porsche Cup, for the category itself, and for the fans in the standings. As you said, it's a very crowded event. Obviously, the Brazilian Grand Prix of Formula 1 is one of the most traditional rounds of the World Championship.
Yeah, Porsche Cup is open to the public, so that's another good thing to know if you live outside Brazil or if you're watching with us from Brazil. It's always a great opportunity to watch good racing on the weekend. It's very nice environment, and usually there are tickets to go inside to that you can go close to the pits and get close to the drivers, or you can watch from outside anyway, but it's a nice opportunity. As we are getting ready, Carlos, soon we'll have the cars hitting the track for the second race this Friday at Termas do Rio Hondo circuit.
Yeah, quite good expectation for this Sprint Challenge race, the second one this weekend, let's put it that way. Of course, the format is very similar to what we had in the Carrera Cup race 1 minute to go. And of course, the expectation is quite good, especially considering the championship standings. We were talking about Ayman Darvic and Raijan Mascarello, but also the guys that are getting close to them. Even though Urubatan Jr., that arrived at Termas in the third position of the standings, hadn't had a good race yesterday. He didn't score points actually. So let's see how much Raijan Mascarello can capitalize, but we have to be wary of other notable drivers of this class, let's put it that way, such as Ricardo Fontanari and others. And it's always nice to register the fact that the format is quite similar to what we had in terms of classes as well, Sergio. We have the main Sprint Challenge class, then the sport class that is the intermediate, and the trophy, actually rookie class. That's the grid.
Vina Neves will be pole position, Márcio Mauro will be at his side, second row, Nelson Marcondes and Christian Moore. Then behind them, Marcelo Tomassoni and Raijan Mascarello. Fourth row, we'll have Gustavo Zanon and Guilherme Botura. Then Miguel Mariotti had a great start yesterday, had problems. He finished 9th. Sang Joaquim in 10th place. Nasser Abutaif and Junior Dinardi in the 6th row. And behind them in 13th, Piero Cifali. 14th, Ramon Alcaraz. On the 8th row, we'll have Marco Billy and Ricardo Fontanari. Carlos just mentioned Ricardo Fontanari, Josimar Júnior, and Daniel Correia, who was involved in that accident with Ayman Darvic that Carlos mentioned. Ayman Darvic, the Egyptian driver, alongside Urubatan Jr., then Sadak Leite and André Gaidzi. And that's it. 22 cars will start this race, the Sprint Challenge race, having the warm-up lap of everybody getting ready for the start. There you see Vina Neves is leading the pack, then Márcio Mauro. Nervous moments for the drivers. Lots of fast drivers starting from behind. This is the pole position, Vina Neves. This is Nelson Marcondes, another onboard camera we'll have during this race. The cars passing there, you see beautiful image. Termas de Rio Hondo. That's the racetrack where we are having the 4th round of the Porsche GT Cup, Porsche Cup Brazil. This is the Sprint Challenge category.
All eyes in the first corner, Sergio. Let's see if we will have an eventful start, especially considering what we had in the first race yesterday of Carrera Cup.
Everything is ready for the start. Vina Neves, number 20, alongside him, Márcio Mauro. Then behind we have Nelson Marcondes and Christian Moore. It's green, green, green now. Start of the race. Vina Neves trying to defend himself. Márcio Mauro, Vina Neves, he stays in first. But then it comes Nelson Marcondes trying to get second position. Great start by Nelson Marcondes. Not a good start by Márcio Mauro, who falls to 4th position. We have there Christian Moore. Christian Moore now loses the position, so no, he's third. Went from fourth to third, and then we have Nelson Marcondes here. Great start by Nelson Marcondes, Carlos. And Vina Neves was able to keep his first position, while we see Raijan Mascarello with the green car trying already to advance. And side by side with him, we see Marcelo Tomassoni. Marcelo Tomassoni is able to overtake Raijan Mascarello.
Yeah, and that's another fight between them. We had this fight yesterday for the win, even though Raijan Mascarello managed to stay ahead, but Marcelo Tomassoni in a moment was very heavy on the charge, let's put it that way. And now once more, this particular battle, let's see if Raijan will be able to capitalize there on his experience. Marcelo Tomassoni knows this category quite a lot. Marcio Mauro, as you said, didn't have a very good start, climbing a little bit there, actually losing spots. But Nelson Marcondes seems to have had an interesting start of race, but we will have to see if he will have the pace to attack Vina Neves, and overall a very clean start in this sprint challenge race 2.
This is battle for first position. Vina Neves is ahead of Nelson Marcondes. Nelson Marcondes puts the pressure to the very beginning of the race. Behind them we see Marcio Mauro with Christian Moore behind him, so Marcio Mauro was able to recuperate the position from Christian Moore. On board is Marcondes. Now they are going to the back straight, and it was a great work of Marcio Mauro. Carlos, he was able to recuperate third position and is now ahead of Christian Moore.
Yeah, that's good for him because he had lost some spots. We see that Raijan Mascarello is trying to scare a little bit Marcelo Tomassoni there, and I think he will be able to do so.
Yeah, on the inside, but then he loses, he goes wide. He goes wide, Raijan Mascarello, too aggressive there. He wasn't able to keep himself on the track. And for the first position, here comes Nelson Marcondes. On the inside of Vina Neves, Nelson Marcondes is the new leader in Termas de Rio Hondo. Great overtake, Carlos. He was perfect there. While you see the battle for third position with Marcio Mauro ahead of Christian Moore.
Yeah, he went for the inside line, late braking, but he was able to control his car. We have seen throughout this whole weekend so far, a lot of guys trying to do this maneuver in order to overtake, but losing actually the car, as we saw with Raijan Mascarello there. Let's see how Raijan Mascarello will recover from that mistake, because of course he has to think about the championship. So we had actually a similar incident, maneuver actually, not an incident, with Raijan and Enzo Elias from the last race when Rodrigo Melo was able to do the X movement, as we see the replay of Nelson Marcondes' overtake.
We saw the great work by Nelson Marcondes. He's already getting ahead of Vina Neves. Raijan Mascarello fell to 9th position, Carlos, after going wide there. Now he has to recuperate. Now he has to come from behind again. So it was really a big loss for Raijan Mascarello. He went too aggressive to get the position, and he ended up being the biggest loser over there.
Yeah, excessively hungry, let's put it that way. The good for him is that Ayman Darvic is in the end of the pack. So in terms of championship, he's still profiting, let's put it that way. But of course he had a good opportunity, to stay in that front pack, let's put it that way, and grab even more points. But now he will need to recuperate a little bit more in order to attack Marcio Mauro once again.
Problems with Urubatan Jr. Oh, not only Urubatan Jr. We have there, I wasn't able to really. Oh, and another one, this is Ramon Alcaraz. Number 55. I think we might have the safety car.
Probably. Runoff area, middle of the track, the other car.
And here's the leader. Here's the leader, Nelson Marcondes, ahead of Vina Neves. A great race also by Miguel Mariotti, Carlos. Safety car. It's confirmed safety car. There is no other way. Miguel Mariotti was able to get the position from Guilherme Bottura in the fight for the first place in the sport class. And there we have Eamon Darwich. No problem. Definitely not a great weekend for him, Carlos. He started really ahead in the championship, but now two bad races for Eamon Darwich.
No, complete disaster for him. That's it. No points at all this round. And of course, Raijan Mascarello, even after his mistake, he will be scoring. And we see how nervous Mandarovic is there after that incident. We have to see the replay because it seems that we have more than 4 cars involved. So, true maths actually.
Yeah, he was mad. Eamon Darwich really mad. Let's wait and see to see if we can get what happened. So far, we don't see Eamon Darwich. Oh, there he is.
Weird.
I think the car ahead of him just stopped there, had a little problem there. The image is not conclusive, Carlos.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Some issue with the car ahead. Then he was in a fast straight there, approaching the corner and couldn't brake in order to avoid the conflict. That's what it seems to be, but as you said, the image is not conclusive.
This is the car from Marco Billy. Marco Billy, who also had a problem yesterday, Carlos. He finished 2 laps behind. He was able to get his car back to the track yesterday, but finished 2 laps behind. Today, I think this is it for him. He's already getting out of the car, so no more race for Marco Billy.
Yeah, I think he had a puncture yesterday. He was able to change the tire and the wheel, actually, but now the situation seems a little bit more complicated.
Nelson Marcondes leads the race. After him, we have Vina Neves, Christian Moore, Márcio Mauro, and Marcelo Tomassoni, and Miguel Mariotti, Guilherme Bottura, Raijan Mascarello, Gustavo Zanon, and Sang Ho Kim. These are the top 10 so far in the second race for the Sprint Challenge, 4th round of the Porsche Cup C6 Bank Mastercard. Again, we have the onboard for Vina Neves. And this is the leader, Nelson Marcondes. Nelson Marcondes is getting ready for the restart. It will be tough for Vina Neves, Carlos, to get back the first position, I believe. It's not going to be easy for him.
Yeah, it seems that Nelson Marcondes has a better pace, but we have to see if he will be smart in the restart, as we see the replay of the start of the Sprint Challenge Race 2.
We see Nelson Marcondes all the way to the left. He gets second position right at the start of the race. Christian Moore is able to get the position from Márcio Mauro. Then we see Márcio Mauro, number 11, recuperating the position. And Raijan Mascarello on the inside. Yesterday's winner trying to get some positions there. And then we see the accident here. Very, very weird situation with Eamon Darwich getting mad after that. Another accident involving Ramon Alcaraz. So at least I would say 4 or 5 cars were involved, Carlos. We have involved Nasser Abultaif, Marco Billy, Junior Dinardi, Eamon Darwich, and Ramon Alcaraz.
Yeah, I was trying to check the drivers involved through the layouts, but that's it. You're right. And double retirement for Junior Dinardi in this round.
Yeah, it's true. Not a good round for him.
Let's see, it seems the safety car will be out.
Again, we had the image for Nelson Marcondes. 15 minutes, a little bit under 15 minutes to go in the second race of the fourth round. You have one more lap with the safety car. So it's, I believe it's the longest time the safety car has been this week, not weekend. I always forget races.
Yeah, it's
happen
weird.
On Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, because I think one of the incidents there, we had two cars stuck on the gravel, so it takes a little bit more time to rescue the car.
Let's hope this time we'll have the restart of the race. Lights are still on the safety car, but we see behind the Nelson Marcondes, Vina Neves, everybody is warming their tires, so maybe it's time to restart, Carlos.
Yeah, and we have to check the tire situation of the front runners there, but I think they're all very similar because Nelson Marcondes was able to climb the pack very fastly, and Vina Neves didn't lose that much of time in the battle between himself and Nelson, but he tried an attack after the restart of the second race of the Sprint Challenge Championship. As we see the pit stop there, changing the front left, if I'm not wrong.
It will be also a great opportunity for Raijan Mascarello, who had that problem, went wide. He ended up 9th. Now he's in 8th position, but right now he'll be right behind Guilherme Bottura and Miguel Mariotti. So it's definitely going to be a great chance for him, Carlos, to at least recuperate a couple of positions.
Yeah, he has to be very smart at this restart as well, because of course he has the opportunity to recover, but I believe that he will be under attack as well, even though he's the championship leader and has been performing very well this year. But he has Gustavo Zanon, even though Gustavo is from the rookie class, for example, so the lower class, and Raijan Mascarello from the upper class, but there's always a risk.
And we'll have yet one more lap with the safety car. I imagine inside the cars, these guys want to race, but they have to wait. There is no other option, and they are plotting what to do next, what to do when the race resumes.
Yeah, the dangerous situation there, Sergio, is to lose concentration, for example, because of the laps behind a safety car, and then you don't have a good restart. You have to stay focused and prepare themselves for the restart.
We have there again, we see Marcondes. Behind them, we have Christian Moores ahead of Marcio Mauro. Christian Moores third. And then we have Marcelo Tomassoni.
And one more good race from Christian Moore, actually.
Yes, Christian Moores is having two great races this weekend. See all the grid. 5 cars are out of the race. At this point, 22 started the race. So this is Marcondes. Ready to restart. See, there are little elevation there, although the air is pretty much flat. The lights are out of the safety car, so we'll have the restart of the race when they cross the line. Nelson Marcondes leads, followed by Vina Neves, then Christian Moore, Marcio Mauro, and Marcelo Tomassoni. Great distance already for the safety car. We will have the restart. It's the restart of the race. Nelson Marcondes. Comes Vina Neves, an opportunity for Raijan Mascarello. Let's pay attention to him. And that's it. We are back racing at Termas de Rio Hondo. Nelson Marcondes keeps the first position, then Vina Neves and Christian Moore. And look behind Raijan Mascarello, already got the position from Guilherme Bottura. So Raijan Mascarello is already in the 7th position, and now he's going after Miguel Mariotti. There is also pressure from Christian Moore over Vina Neves, battle for second. Christian Moore is all over Vina Neves. Christian Moore side by side with Vina Neves. Nelson Marcondes keeps the lead. This will be the end of the back straight, and Vina Neves is able to keep the second position. But big pressure from Christian Moore on the inside. Christian Moore apparently got second position problems for André Gajzinski. And this is still the battle for second. Side by side, Christian Moore and Vina Neves. Christian Moore will have the right of the way here. Christian Moore is the new second position here. Great work. Vina Neves tries to get back the positions he's now. Then Christian Moore is able to get second position. Vina Neves now is third with Márcio Mauro in fourth.
Yeah, but what a battle there, Sergio. Almost a whole lap side by side there with Vina Neves and Christian Moore. And let's see if Christian Moore will be able to attack the leader, Nelson Marcondes, because of course they lost time with this battle, and theoretically Nelson has opened a little bit of a gap there as we see André Gajzinski going wide and spinning.
Yeah, it looked like it was his mistake, Carlos, because he went too wide there. He got the dirt and he wasn't able to control his car afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Mistake from him, and just that.
Raijan Mascarello is already in 6th, so he was able to get 2 positions. He's right behind Marcelo Tomassoni. See, Marcelo Tomassoni, his car number 5 is the blue and white car there, and the greenish car behind him is Raijan Mascarello. Then ahead of them we have Márcio Mauro, who is behind Vina Neves. Márcio Mauro, the white and green car behind Vina Neves. Battle for 3rd position. And there comes for the position, Márcio Mauro is able to get ahead of Vina Neves. Vina Neves tries to resist, but they are going to the back straight. Turn will be to the right, so Márcio Mauro gets the position from Vina Neves. And then Marcelo Tomassoni is right behind Vina Neves now. Not a good moment for Vina Neves, Carlos Costa.
Yeah, clearly losing pace there. I don't know if he has some issue with the tires or something like that, but he started the race very well, even opening a little bit of a gap, and now his pace isn't that good, so he loses 2 positions in 2 laps, if I'm not wrong. And Raijan Mascarello, I think, is also getting close after Marcelo Tomassoni, so Raijan was able to climb some spots there.
Yeah, Raijan is trying to overtake Marcelo Tomassoni, really fast car number 80. He won the race yesterday. That's for him is lap 146.609. That's Raijan behind Tomassoni, and Tomassoni is behind Vina Neves. Vina Neves is clearly lower than the 2 cars behind him. You see Márcio Mauro already getting a difference between himself and Vina Neves. Nelson Marcondes is the leader. Christian Moore is second. Then we have Márcio Mauro in third, battle for fourth. Tomassoni trying to pass Vina Neves. Look at Tomassoni, almost got by Vina Neves.
Yeah, intense battle there because Tomassoni has a better pace than Vina Neves, and Raijan Mascarello is always also actually trying to get closer to the battle.
Contact between Tomassoni and Vina Neves. Raijan Mascarello gets 2 positions. And look at that, how bad Tomassoni going there to the end of the track. Also the end of the race for Vina Neves. Or if it's not the end of the race, he lost many positions. for sure for Marcelo Tomassoni is the end of the race. Look at where his car is. Too optimistic, Carlos.
Totally, and of course, Tomassoni was on the inside line, so Villeneuve had to leave the space because obviously Marcelo Tomassoni's car would be there, so he went all of nothing directly into the inside, and then the crash happened. So I believe that is Vina's fault in this case.
Yes, he really didn't have space to go over there, and with that, Raijan Mascarello is in 4th position. It's all going very well for the championship leader, Raijan Mascarello.
One more podium already.
You see there, Ricardo Fontanari. Behind him is Daniel Correa. Daniel Correa is started way back on the grid, so he's trying to get now by Ricardo Fontanari. Daniel Correa is in 9th, Fontanari is in 8th. We see again the leader, Nelson Marcondes. Last lap, Carlos, Christian Moore was a little bit faster than Nelson Marcondes, but I'm not sure he'll have enough time to really try to battle for the first position.
Yeah, it seems that Nelson is managing his advantage there, even though, of course, he has to be wary of Christian Moore's attack. But his situation seems to be under control, considering that we have a little bit more than 5 minutes of race, considering the last lap.
Now we see Raijan Mascarello trying to get 3rd position from Márcio Mauro. Raijan Mascarello wants to finish 3rd. It's been a great weekend for him so far, or a great week for him so far. He's clearly faster than Márcio Mauro, Carlos.
Yeah, even with an alternative racing line, we can see that he's faster, so he has the pace to overtake, and now might be the moment.
And a great race also by Miguel Mariotti, who is from the sport class. He qualified 4th yesterday. He had a couple of problems during the race. He started from a little bit from behind this race, but he now sits 5th ahead of Guilherme Bottura. He's way ahead of Guilherme Bottura, as they are 1st and 2nd in the sport class.
Yeah, interesting battle between the classes as well. As you said, Mariotti with a very good race. Guilherme Bottura also is in a good performance this week. He had a good race yesterday as well. And the rookie class also with a good level of competitiveness with Kaidzinski, and of course the South Korean driver that we have. So it's always interesting to see. And of course the car number 33 actually is performing very, very well. That is Gustavo Zanon, that led and won yesterday in the rookie class. Whoa.
Oh, problems for Piero Cifali. And that's not a good position to be. Raijan Mascarello tries to get the position from Márcio Mauro. This is a very good battle for 3rd. And Miguel Mariotti right behind them. Just looking. Miguel Mariotti is waiting. He's praying there for the 3rd and 4th places. Raijan Mascarello, no, very, very dangerous position there.
Yeah, let's see if his car is turned on.
Because that was really dangerous.
Yeah, and it was really close actually. But if the pack passes through him and then he's able to rejoin the track, then we don't need a safety car. Otherwise, we need a safety car.
And Raijan Mascarello gets the position from Márcio Mauro, so he's now 3rd. We have Miguel Mariotti right behind him, and Guilherme Bottura was able to get close to Miguel Mariotti. So that's a good battle happening. And Márcio Mauro tries to get back. Problems for Raijan Mascarello, or at least he gave back the position. I believe he gave back the position, or he's having a problem, Carlos, because he's way slower now. He has Miguel Mariotti right behind him. Yeah, not a good moment for Raijan Mascarello.
Not at all, and he has to be conservative. If he has an issue or even made a mistake, he doesn't have to defend his position that much because he's ahead of his title rival. So let's see if he manages to finish the race actually.
117 is Guilherme Botura. He's second in the sport class. He's right behind Miguel Mariotti. So this battle is for first in the sport class. There is Piero Cifali already on the pits. Look at that, three side by side. Ricardo Fontanari is coming with the Porsche number 17. Ricardo Fontanari, great effort by him at the end of the race. Aija Mascarello is behind Márcio Mauro. Ricardo Fontanari came there and really advanced. Great work by Ricardo Fontanari. Aija Mascarello. Again, I believe, Carlos, that Aija Mascarello gave back the position. He probably passed it in the yellow flag. Yeah, we had the yellow flag there. And he passed Márcio Mauro, so he gave back the position. And now he's battling again for third.
Yeah, that might be the case. And maybe with the car that was... that had spun there, so I don't know if that has been the case, but it seems that Aija Mascarello overtook in an irregular way, and now Márcio Mauro is one ahead, but with 1 lap to go, Aija can overtake once again.
We're going to have Nelson Marcondes get the checkered flag. This is battle for third position. Aija Mascarello at the end of the back straight, trying to get the position from Márcio Mauro, side by side. Side by side, Aija has the inside position, but Márcio Mauro is able to defend himself. Behind them, Miguel Mariotti is defending himself from Ricardo Fontanari. And a little bit ahead of Ben, there he is, Nelson Marcondes, leading the race. Great race by Nelson Marcondes, and he's going to put one more in his race career. He's going to get the checkered flag. Now he's way ahead of Christian Moore and Nelson Marcondes. Nobody will take this win from him, Carlos. He's in the last few turns. Here's the turn to the right. Then he'll turn left and he'll get the checkered flag. Great work. Nelson Marcondes wins second race at Termas de Rio Honda. Christian Moore is second. Márcio Mauro, I believe, will finish third, then Aija Mascarello. Great work by Nelson Marcondes, Carlos Costa.
Yeah, exactly. Very good performance from Nelson. He had a good start, then he was able to climb that back immediately, straight away, right after the start, actually. And of course, he was very wise in overtaking Villeneuve in order to prevent himself from crashing or any other kind of stuff, as we saw, for example, with Aija, actually, that went a little bit wide in an attempt in the beginning of the race still, but a very consistent drive from Nelson Marcondes, and of course now he has to celebrate a lot, especially considering that yesterday he had a very good pace, didn't have a start of race that was good, so he lost a little bit of ground and then was able to recover in order to have a good starting position that allowed him to attack today, and that's it. We have to highlight his race and also the battle between Aija Mascarello and both Marcel Tomazoni and now Mauro, because of course he had to be, especially after his first mistake, very, very cautious, Aija, and of course highlight Mariotti, as we have done already, the winner of the sport class, and the rest of the pack as well, because it was an interesting race throughout the whole pack. Gustavo Zanon winning the rookie class.
Yeah, Gustavo Zanon finished 9th overall, so it was a great race for him. First in his class. And Miguel Mariotti also. At the end, Carlos, Guilherme Botura was fighting with Miguel Mariotti for the first in the sport class. He ended up having a problem. He finished 11th overall and 4th in the sport class. Was 3rd in the sport class, but we had Gustavo Zanon ahead of him, who is from the rookie class. So it was not a very good end of the race for Guilherme Botura.
Yeah, that's a pity, and especially considering the particular fight that Botura had with Mariotti, not just this race, but the previous one as well. So I don't know if he had a mechanical issue or something, or even a mistake, but even though even actually considering his mistake or the fact that he lost round in the end of this second race of the Sprint Challenge Championship, it was an interesting week for him.
We see Nelson Marcondes arriving at the pits. His crew is already there waiting to commemorate well-deserved victory for Nelson Marcondes. And then we also have Miguel Mariotti and Gustavo Zanon, winners for Sport Class and Rookie Class. Congratulations, Nelson Marcondes!
He has to celebrate a lot, especially after yesterday's race. As we said, he had a good qualifying, a good starting position, struggled a little bit in the beginning of this Thursday's race, but now he was able to bounce back, and what a win, what a performance from Nelson Marcondes.
There he is. One happy driver, Nelson Marcondes. That's it. And now they will all go to the podium to receive their trophies. Let's watch some of the best moments of this race. I believe, Carlos, we had great races today. First the Carrera Cup and now the Sprint Challenge. Very nice battles. One of them was between number 11 of Márcio Mauro and 3 of Christian Moore. Vina Neves also fought a lot, ended up finishing 16th. He didn't complete all the laps after the contact with Marcelo Tomassoni. And that was the strange accident, Carlos, that involved Eamon Darwich.
Yeah, as we talked about throughout the broadcast, the angle of the replay isn't that conclusive, so we don't know if that car had a problem or anything similar, because apparently he lost actually a lot of speed, so Eamon Darwich wasn't able to avoid contact. So a strange incident, and of course Eamon got very mad, as you said, because 2 DNFs for him actually this round. So he arrived at Termas de Rio Hondo as the championship leader, and now sees Raija Mascarello opening a big gap ahead of the pack in terms of championship standings.
And that's Raija Mascarello. Number 8, now we see Sang Joaquin. Sang Joaquin, who is with a reserve car. His car was involved in an accident yesterday, and that was, I would say, Carlos, the big event of the race in terms of contact in the battle for third position. Vina Neves touching the car of Marcelo Tomassoni, and both didn't finish the race.
Yeah, strong crash actually, because they touched each other in the braking point after a mini straight, let's put it that way. So it was a strong crash, and happily these Porsche cars are very, very safe. So it seems that we didn't have any issue with the drivers, but they have to be a little bit more cautious approaching the apex of that corner.
And that's Nelson Marcondes getting the checkered flag after a nice battle. After winning the race, he got first position from Vina Neves. It was not that hard. He was really faster than Vina Neves. Vina Neves started in the pole position, ended up the race at 16th. So after that crash with Marcelo Tomassoni. We see again the image of Márcio Mauro, number 11. And don't forget that on Sunday we'll have more. We'll have the first round of the Porsche Cup Brazil Endurance Championship. First at 9 a.m. local time and Brazilian time as well. It's the same time as in Argentina. 9 a.m. we'll have qualifying. Then at 12:55 p.m. local time, Brazilian time, we'll have the 300 kilometers race, or 2 hours and 45 minutes, whichever ends first. 12:55, which will be 3:55 p.m. GMT or 11:55 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. These are the three race winners. Nelson Marcondes, overall winner. Miguel Mariotti in the sport class. Gustavo Zanon was the winner for the rookie class. And the final results you'll be able to see now. Nelson Marcondes, Christian Moore, Márcio Mauro, Raijan Mascarello, again, great effort by Miguel Mariotti from the sports class, finished in 5th. Ricardo Fontanari had a good race as well, coming from behind. Daniel Correia, the same. Urubatã Júnior, the same, coming from behind. Gustavo Zanon in 9th. Then Josimar Júnior, 11th. Guilherme Botura, Sadak Leite, Sangokin, André Gaidzinski, and then 3 laps behind. Piero Cifali, Vina Neves, actually 1 lap behind. Marcelo Tomassoni, we saw there. Nelson Abutaif, Marco Biri, Júnior Dinardi, Eyman Darwich, and Ramon Alcaraz. And there we have the podium, Carlos. One more podium for this weekend with the great victory for Nelson Marcondes.
Yeah, nice to see their happiness. Raijan Mascarello there with the Brazilian flag. Now they're lifting the trophies. And of course, Nelson Marcondes is the happiest guy there. What a win from him. What a performance and what a recovery after struggling a little bit in the beginning of the race that we had yesterday. So we're reaching the final part, let's put it that way, after 4 rounds of the Sprint Challenge Championship. So Nelson Marcondes has to keep up doing that in order to round by round get closer to Raijan and his title rivals as well.
Yeah, the battle is not over. Raijan Mascarello got a commanding advantage after this 4th round, but we still have 4 more races. First race of the weekend gives 22 points to the winner. Second race gives 20 points to the winner. And there we see the situation. It's just 14 points Raijan Mascarello has over Christian Moore. Then Nelson Marcondes sits 3rd in the championship. Eyman Darwich, great loser for the weekend, is in 4th, started 1st. Marcelo Tomassoni, then Urubatã Júnior, they are both tied with 77 points. Daniel Correia, 66. Guilherme Botura, Vina Neves, and Ricardo Fontanari. These are the top 10 in the Sprint Challenge Championship for Porsche Cup. Raijan Mascarello has an advantage, Carlos, but it's not that much. Christian Moore is right there. Christian Moore, who had a great race, finished 2nd today.
Yeah, definitely. The title fight, actually, it's getting quite interesting. Christian Moore, with a lot of consistency, had 2 good races this round, and Nelson Marcondes has a good momentum. He's not that far. We have to consider that the race win from the main race awards 22 points. So if one of them retires and the other wins, considering especially the guys that are behind Raijan Mascarello, then the title fight gets completely open, even though Raijan has a good situation. He has to be very cautious in the next rounds, but obviously still competitive. So the expectation is quite good for the rest of the season, especially considering the Sprint Challenge title for the fight for the title, actually, but also in the Carrera Cup division.
Now we have Miguel Mariotti holding the trophy for the sport class. Then Zanon, Josimar Júnior, Guilherme Botura, Sadak Leite. These are the top 5 there. And then we'll have the podium for the rookie class. Great win in the sport class by Miguel Mariotti. I think Carlos Mariotti, by what he showed this race, he might be in the sprint challenge sooner than later.
Yeah, if we consider the pound for pound performances this round, he was one of the highlights, no doubt about it. Both races, actually, he won both races in the sport class, and we saw that he was able to compete in terms of overtaking and even defensive driving with the guys from the main sprint challenge division. So he is one guy to watch, and definitely one for the future, as we used to say.
Now we have the trophy for the rookie class with Gustavo Zanon, Sadak Leite, Sangorkin in third, and Piero Cifali in fourth. Overall, Carlos, I believe we had a great 2 days of racing, and I'm looking forward for Sunday when we'll have the first round of the endurance race 2022 championship.
Yeah, definitely. The expectation for the first round of the Endurance Championship is quite good. Also, because we have the guest drivers, international drivers, and so on. But from what we saw in the sprint races that we had today and yesterday, from both Carrera Cup and Sprint Challenge Championship, we can expect something interesting and a lot of action as well. So you have to prepare your bottle of water, Sergio, because I believe that we'll have some crashes and overtakings this Sunday as well.
Definitely, it will be a nice race. Besides all these great Porsche Cup drivers, we'll have the guests, and the guests among them are Rubens Barrichello, Nelson Piquet Jr., Ricardo Zonta, Ricardo Maurício, all drivers who won, some of them who were in Formula One, also in Indy. So it will be a great race and a strategy race with new rules for this year, turning the Endurance Championship, Porsche Cup Endurance Championship Brazil, really interesting. So don't forget, starting 9 a.m. on Sunday local time, 12 p.m. GMT or 8 a.m. US Eastern Time. With that, we thank you all for watching this Porsche Cup C6 Bank MasterCard with us. I thank you, everybody. In my name is Sergio Lago, in the name of Carlos Costa, and in the name, of course, of Porsche Cup Brazil. Thank you all.